Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this HP Pavilion X360M convertible, model 14m-cd0003dx. So on this, we're going to be replacing the keyboard. You are going to need, if you're going to do this, you're going to need some special tools. I'm going to use this 3D printing pen, which basically just melts a spool of plastic, and it's powered by USB. Okay. You could also do this using like some strong glue or something, but this works a lot better because you don't have to wait for the stuff to harden. Alright, so anyways, first what you want to do is remove the two rubber feet here on the back towards the hinge. So just use a pry tool, your fingernails or whatever, just get underneath and then you can peel them out. There's two PH1 screws under here. These are black, slightly longer screws than the ones down here. The ones down here are silver screws. And you can also use the PH1 screwdriver, but if you don't have a PH1 and it's too big, you can use a PH0 screwdriver. Alright, so remove those three. Once you remove all 5 screws from the case, you'll need a thin pry tool. Most likely you'll need a metal one because this cover is pretty difficult to get out. But basically you just get in the little crease here, okay, just like that. And then you kind of tilt it sideways and then slide it along, and it should pop the clips. You don't want to put the tool too far in the case because then you can accidentally break something. Okay, and then after you get that, you can actually just pull this cover off, as you can see. And if it gets stuck, you can go ahead and pry along the other sides, but once you pry the bottom, it should come out. You kind of just wiggle it and these clips will release. Okay, so we're going to set the cover aside. So first thing you want to do is remove the battery. Alright, the battery model is TF03XL. So there's a slot here which looks like it could hold a regular hard drive, which if you get, it looks like there's a little connector here to put a regular 2.5-inch SATA hard drive with a adapter. You'll need the little connector here. And then you would also have to take out this rubber piece. I'm not sure where you can get that adapter, but usually you can find them on eBay or something. Just look for this model and then look for hard drive cable or something. Okay, so we're going to remove the screws holding this battery in place. It looks like there's 4 screws. Okay, so we're just going to remove all 4 screws here. Okay, once you remove those 4 screws, actually there's 2 more in the middle, so there's actually 6 screws on this thing. Okay, so 4 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Alright, just remove all of those. Okay, once you do that, if this cable's in the way, you can remove this first. There's this little latch here, just flip it up. Okay, and then you can pull this cable out. Alright, it's a little tricky because the cable looks like it's actually held down with some adhesive. Once you get that out, just peel the cable up. You don't want to crease the cable, so try and keep the cable flat while you're pulling it up. Okay, and then we'll remove the cable from this side as well. Right, and then we'll set that aside. Alright, now the battery, just go underneath these little screw mount things and then lift the plastic area and pull it up and it'll come out just like that. Alright. Turn that off a little bit. Alright, so we got the battery out. Set that aside as well. Okay, there is a M.2 SSD here. Let's see, they covered it, but this is, did they even show it here? I don't see it. Well, let me take the screw out here. So there's another PH1 screw. Most of the stuff inside use PH1 screws. I'm going to put this back afterwards because I don't need to keep it out. It looks like a SATA. I don't think they labeled it on here, or if they did, it's covered. So yeah, they covered this. I don't know about peeling these, but usually when the M.2 SSD has 2 notches in it like that, it's a SATA SSD, though sometimes it's not. Alright, let's see if I can peel off this HP spare part number, because you don't have to use a HP specific part. Alright, so I am able to peel this off. Here we go. It still doesn't say under here what it is. It just says solid state drive, serial number and the model number. Light, it's made by Light-On. Okay, they just have the HP part number here. So, yeah, you don't need this. Just get a M.2 SATA. I don't know if it supports M.2 PCIe NVMe's. You can try it because they're a lot faster. So, if you want, I would... Oh, yeah, it just says M-SATA. It doesn't say what type. Okay. I would attempt to use a PCIe NVMe. Just make sure you get free returns. So that way, after you try it, if somebody tries it, if they can post that in the comment section below, so that other people can benefit from that knowledge. Alright, so we'll put that back down. If you want to change the RAM, there's this metal cover here. I just get my fingernail or pry tool underneath this metal cover, and I just pop it up. So that side came up. Let me go along and pop up the rest, just like this. There's this adhesive holding this piece in place, so it will kind of stay. They are only using one slot apparently. I hope they didn't cover the information on this as well. Okay, it's 8 gigs PC4 2400T. So if you want to upgrade your RAM, you can get another 8 gig PC4 2400T stick and put that next to it. You don't need this little heat shield that they put there, but yeah. Alright, so we'll put this back down. The CPU is soldered to the board, so you can't replace it or upgrade it. Alright. It's a little tricky to get back in place. Make sure when you put this back that it goes between the little notches, okay? Alright, so we're going to be taking the whole motherboard out. So it looks like the touchpad cable goes underneath the motherboard, so we are going to have to disconnect this. Flip that up. Pull this cable out. You got to be a little careful with this, okay? They did use an adhesive here as well, so you got to peel that up as well. Again, you don't want to crease the cable. Try and keep the cable flat. Alright. Then you got the keyboard backlight cable here. You got the keyboard cable here. So we'll take out the backlight cable. Take out the keyboard cable. Alright, we got this for the fan. Let's see here. You got another connector here for, what's that? The fingerprint sensor. So let's take that out as well. I don't know if I can take this out. It looks like there's a bunch of other cables connected, so let's lift this up. There's a little white latch here. Flip that up, and then I'm going to pull this cable out if I can. Looks like I might have to pull out the brown cable though. Okay, let me see. Okay, we can leave that. So I'm going to leave the fingerprint sensor board here. Okay. We'll leave that there. We'll take out the screws from the board here. It doesn't look like they mark this, or they do put little arrows on there, but they don't mark it that clear. So what I'm gonna do is I will take a black Sharpie. Oops, not that one. My other Sharpie. So wherever I remove a screw, I'm just gonna mark the board there so I know where that screw came from. Okay. Take the other screw here. These screws are all different sizes, shapes, lengths, so you do want to keep them in order. Don't get them mixed up, okay? Got another screw down here. Mark that one as well. Have my silver Sharpie here. What did I do with it? Is it still in this drawer? My silver Sharpie is gone. Well, let's see. Alright, oh, here it is. Okay. Alright, so let's remove the screws here. Is this holding it down? Yes. You might have to use a pH 0 for this if your screwdriver can't fit, but my screwdriver can fit this. Alright, so we do have to take that screw out. I'm going to mark this with a silver Sharpie. Okay. Move that down. Take out this screw. Okay, same thing. We'll mark that with the silver Sharpie as well. Okay, there's another screw up here. Did I put that upside down? Yeah. Oops. Okay, we'll put that one there. Alright. Mark this one as well. Okay. Alright, so one thing I didn't mention, after you remove the battery, you want to press and hold the power button for about 10-15 seconds just to drain any power from the computer, because when you remove the when you remove the, oh, I disconnected that already. So let me plug this little cable back in. This is for the power button. So when you remove the LCD or LVDS connector, you want to actually drain the power from the board before you do that, because sometimes it can cause damage to the board if you don't. Alright, most everything else you can handle without any issues, but for the screen cable you want to press and hold. So I'm going to press and hold the power button on here with the battery removed. You do that for about 10-15 seconds just to drain any power from the board. Okay, it should be okay already. Alright, so we'll take this cable back out. Set that aside. Alright, the fan, if it's taped in with this, I think I'm just going to leave it attached to the main board. This is all coming up. Okay, so now we're going to remove this. There's the speaker cable here. To remove that, usually what I do is I'll use my fingernail. Usually I'd use my fingernail on both sides, but there's no room on this side, so I'll use the screwdriver and I just wiggle the connector, just rock it back and forth, and eventually it'll pop out. You don't want to just pull straight back because you can damage the board that way. Alright, so we'll take this screw out up here. Oops, wrong one. I won't be able to see that silver, so let's switch back to the black Sharpie. There we go. Okay. Then the wireless card, to remove the antennas, you just go under the tails and just pop it up like that. Okay. So this one, there's a black sticker, and then this one, there's a white sticker. So the black sticker one goes on the black arrow, and the white sticker one goes on the white arrow. Okay. So let's pop that up as well. Alright. Get those out of the way. The wireless card I'm going to leave in place, but if you want to remove it, there's just one screw. After you remove that, you can just pull it out. Okay, remove this screw. Let me mark this one better because the silver made it hard to see. There we go. Okay, I think that's all the screws. Make sure you get this adhesive up. Let's see if we can lift the board out or if something else is holding it. Oh, don't forget these cables. Alright, I'm going to disconnect this. This is the DC jack cable. If you want to remove it, you do have to undo the screen. Looks like the hinge screws, and then you have to lift the hinge out of the way. Usually to do that, I'll take the screws out. I'll open the screen a little bit, take the screws out, and then after that, when you push this down, the hinge will stay up, and then you can move it all the way out of the way. Okay, we're going to disconnect this cable. I think this is for the webcam or touchscreen. Okay, so flip that up and then take that out. Okay, let's see, what else do we got here? The fan is attached there, so we don't need to remove that. Right, get this adhesive out of the way. I am going to use like a little tool to get this out and make it easier. Okay, this tool is stuck in my box. It can't get it out. Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's get this tool. Alright, so I'm going to use this little sharp plasticky tool just to get underneath and lift this adhesive out of the way. It's stuck on there pretty good, man. Okay, you want to be careful. You don't want to bend this heat pipe, because if you bend it too much, it won't transfer the heat properly. Alright. Oh man, the adhesive actually separated from the plastic tab. Alright, peel that out of the way. Let's see, where's the tab that I need to move? Okay, it is this one. So you do want to flip this tab up. Okay, just like that. And then you can pull this cable out just like that. Alright, so let's see. This speaker assembly looks like it can come out, so let's try and lift the speaker assembly out of here. So I'm going to grab towards the middle here and just wiggle and pull it up. Make sure none of the cables are in the way. It looks like it's actually underneath the board and stuff, so maybe we can't take it out. Let's move these cables out of the way. So these cables are slotted through here. Okay, it looks like that was easy enough to get out. Okay, there we go. So we got the speaker assembly out of the way. Set it aside, and let's see what else is holding this board in place. So this board is actually on its own cable. I don't see where it's connected. They put it underneath the board. Alright, so this board seems like it's a bit of a pain to remove. Let's see, are there any other screws? Or, oh, okay, the wireless card is actually holding it down, so we do have to remove the wireless card. Take that screw out. Alright, and then just pull the wireless card out and set that aside. I'm going to put the screw with it. Alright, so let's see if we can take it out now. There we go. Okay, so lift the board up this way. And be careful because there is the cable for this USB board still attached. Okay, so I'm going to lift this and see if this board will come out, or do I need to take the whole hinge with it? Alright, gotta be careful. There we go. Okay, so I lifted underneath and lifted that out. But here you can see this cable is held in with adhesive onto here. Okay, so this is what the bottom of the motherboard or the logic board looks like. There's not really anything to do under there. If you want, you can replace the cables that are here if you damage them. That's funny. They called this board Chewbacca. I don't know if you can see it. Chewbacca 14 KBL RUMA. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so we're going to set the motherboard aside. Okay. Okay, so now we need to replace the keyboard assembly. So I'm going to leave all of this stuff in place. Let's see if I can take it out without... It looks like I might have to remove the screen assembly because this metal bracket is under here. So, okay, we're going to remove the screen assembly as well. So like I was saying, you can open the screen. Be careful since it's missing all the screws since we took everything out. Usually for this, I like to open the screen and then hang it off the edge of my desk, okay? And then we'll just take out the 2 screws on this side and the 2 screws on the other side. When I take these screws out, I like to add some thread locker when I put them back, so that way the screws don't come loose over time. Okay, so I use the red thread locker. I don't like to use the blue thread locker because I always see these screws, the hinge screws on a lot of laptops come out. Okay. So now that we got all 4 screws out that are holding the hinges in place, we should be able to lift the whole screen assembly up and out just like this. Okay, so there we go. The DC jack actually fell out with it, so just know that the DC jack sits like that. Okay, the charge port there, and you can take that out. Okay, we'll set that aside as well. Set the screen aside. Alright, make sure you put it somewhere it's not going to get damaged. Okay, so what else? Should I take all these little boards out just to be safe? Because, oh yeah, they're somewhat in the way as well. Geez, so this thing, you have to do a complete disassembly just to get the keyboard. Usually if you replace the keyboard, you'll probably want to replace the whole palm rest assembly, which technically then you still have to take the whole thing apart. But yeah, let's flip this little latch up. Alright, then let's pull this aside. That little cable's kind of stuck in there, so come on, let go. I'm gonna have to lift this and grab the little brown tab. It won't come out. I don't think I can pull that out with the tweezers either. It's held in there really strong. Let's try. So I'll use these tweezers. Grab it. Nope, it just slips. So I need some kind of, I don't know, I don't want to use pliers and damage it, so I'm going to just try and wiggle it side to side. And walk the connector out. There we go. So you can walk the connector out of there. Alright, so we'll set that aside, and then we'll get this one as well. So this is in the way. We do need to take this screw out underneath as well. Man, they put too many layers on this thing. So get this metal bracket out. Be careful with the cable for the fingerprint sensor. Set that aside. All right. So got that. It looks like all of this is going to have to be ripped out. Looks like we have to take out the trackpad as well. Geez, this is like completely disassembled. All right, let's take these 3 screws out. I don't think I charged enough for this repair. Oh man. Okay, take those 3 out, and then we'll take the 3 screws out down here. Again, you want to remember where all the screws came from. I'll show you in a bit how I put them on my desk so you can kind of get an idea how to do this so that you don't get all the screws mixed up when you do this. Right? You'll get to see my messy desk. Alright, let's see here. Can I take this out? Yes, I can. Alright, so this part down here for the buttons, you need to slide it up like this, and then you can take it out. Okay. Trackpad here, just lift it up, and then you can take it out. We'll set that aside. Alright, last thing, we're going to remove these 2 pieces. So this is the power button board here. So if your power button breaks, you can take that out. So I guess we're doing a complete disassembly minus a screen replacement on this model. Okay, why is this stuck in? Oh, they put some adhesive there. So there's a little plastic bracket up here. Oh, I should have been zooming in a lot, but sorry about that. So there's a plastic bracket here that kind of grabs this chip, and then this adhesive is also holding it, so it's kind of stuck there. I'm going to remove these 2 screws here and see if that will allow me to just lift the whole thing out. Okay, let's see if I can lift it out now. Nope, it's still stuck. So this adhesive is holding this metal bracket as well as this. So I might actually have to peel that adhesive off if I can't just lift it up. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I lifted both at the same time. Here we go. And we got the power button out. Okay, so we'll set that aside. And now you got this complete bare keyboard with the fingerprint sensor here that you can, that you can actually push out. So the fingerprint sensor, I pushed it through, and here you go. So if for some reason you need to replace the fingerprint sensor, there you go. Okay, nothing else, right? This is the bare plastic and the keyboard. And another thing you want to check that I probably should have checked before I took everything apart, make sure your keyboard matches up. Alright, that looks right. That looks right. That looks right. Alright. I think it's all the same. The arrow buttons look different, but other than that, everything else looks the same. Okay, so we'll set that aside. The keyboard I bought did come with this backlight as well. If you want your keyboard to light up, then you will need to make sure it doesn't have to come with that, because you can reuse the one here unless you damage it. But yeah. Alright, so let's see, how am I going to remove all of these? There's a lot of plastic things here. Usually what I do is I'll take a I don't have it in my box. I'll use a razor blade, but I'm gonna have to get one because it's not in my box. I don't know. Oh, I think I put it with my drill set. Okay, so I rarely have to do these kinds of repairs, as you can tell. Usually I don't like to replace the keyboards if you have to get all these broken plastic bits out. But the customer really wanted to get it fixed. Alright, let me show you how I put the screws. So here you can see, here you can see the screws for the power board, and I put the trackpad and that there, the power button cable. This is the bottom case screws, so the 2 under where the hinge are, and then the front 3 screws. Got the battery screws, you got the hinge screws here, trackpad screws, Then you got the motherboard screws, you got the wireless card and the screws, you got the fingerprint sensor, the screw, and you got the fingerprint sensor board, I guess, and the screws right next to it there. Then the 2 rubber pieces. Alright, so that's how I lay out the screws to make it easier. Okay, let me see if I can get the razor blade, and then I will be back. Alright, well, I couldn't find the right razor blade, but I found a razor blade, which looks like an infection waiting to happen. But let's see what we can do. So, all these plastic bits, let's see. Maybe I should try doing it by melting it instead of cutting it. Let's see. I haven't tried doing that before. It'd be nice if you could melt like those individual things and then they come out, but I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna heat this thing up. Let's change it to red mode, which means more. I change it to the 1 dot, so less flow. Okay. Alright, so it's on right now. Let's grab some of the filament, which will... Actually, I don't really need the filament because if I'm going to melt that stuff, but I'll use it later. So let's see if this will heat up enough to take those out. Kind of doubting it, but let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is going to be a very boring, tedious video. So if you want, you can skip all this, but maybe I guess you'll see why you probably won't want to do this. But yeah. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to grab my flat tool to pry this out. We'll keep letting that thing heat up. So I'll grab my flat tool. I'm going to stick this underneath this metal piece so that I can pry it up while I'm melting it. And that way, hopefully I can do this without cutting it. Let's see what happens. Right, so this thing should be heating up enough to melt this stuff. Yeah, I don't think melting it's gonna work. I don't know. It is melting it, but it's not letting me remove this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to cut it. If anyone knows of another way to do this, so right now I'm just trying to melt the plastic around here so I can lift this out. Yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna work. Come on. It's basically I'm pushing all the melted plastic into the center here so that hopefully I can lift the metal piece out, which I don't know. Maybe I need some special tool that can heat these better. I don't know if anyone knows what I can use that can do this better. Yeah, no, that's not working. Alright, let's try the razor blade. So this is usually what I do, is I take the razor blade and then I'll try and cut all these plastic pieces out, so it's a real pain. This is probably going to end up taking me like 2 or 3 hours. Let's see here. Okay, come on. Oh man, it's not even cutting. This plastic is too strong. So, I don't know if somebody has a better way of doing this. Wow, why is this one so strong compared to usual? Am I cutting the metal and not the plastic? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't want to come up. Maybe I have to use the melting method. Let's try melting it some more. I need something that will get super hot, but it won't melt the area around it. That's the problem. problem is you don't want to melt the area around it. Okay, come on. Yeah, it doesn't want to budge. Yeah, I don't know. This stuff doesn't want to come out. I might end up giving up on this one. It doesn't want to come out at all. And I can't cut it. So I might have bought the keyboard for nothing, because if I can't cut this piece off, if I can't cut these metal things off, then, or the plastic things off, then I can't change the keyboard. So I don't know how I'll do this. Let's try my other flat pry tool. Maybe this one will be able to pry it better. Okay, that kind of worked. But now the metal's going to be all bent up. Oh, that works. Okay, I'm going to just pry it all up like this if I can. But then I have to cut those things, the plastic, afterwards. Okay. I don't know. It doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we go. This is actually working a little bit. Okay. So pry that up, and then you can remove the excess plastic here. That works. Okay, so I'm going to try and pry up all of it, but my 3D printer pen was sitting too long, so it's letting out the stuff. Alright, let's see if we can lift up this one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bend all this back, but at least popping these out isn't as bad as trying to cut them all, so hopefully this will work. Alright, doing this is difficult. I guess all the ways are difficult, so alright, get that in there and pop this up. Come on. Yeah, I don't know if I can pop this side up. There we go, come on. Take off the excess plastic. Just keep going around. Alright, this seems to be working pretty well. It is a slow and painful process, but at least it's working. Oh, man. Come on. The thing is, you have to keep the tool underneath and pry it up. Oh man, it's going the wrong. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to try with this. I have to be careful because I got all my screws on the table. I don't want to knock them out. Okay, some of these come out easier than others. Alright, let's see here. How am I going to get underneath to that up there? So I don't know how I'm going to get these ones out. We got all of those. Okay. Guess as I go around, I can start working my way towards the center. Okay, let's go underneath here. Go. It's working. Again, I am gonna have to bend all of this stuff back. All these little plastic rings are flying all over my desk. Maybe I'll just leave them there and I'll clean it up later. Can I even take this rubber piece off? It's stuck on there pretty strong. If you need to upgrade your hard drive, just know this rubber block here is stuck on there really strong. And get my pry tool underneath and see if I can get that off. Okay. Come on, it's coming, I can hear it. I don't know why they put this rubber block. I guess so you don't accidentally squeeze it and it caves in or something, but geez, why'd they glue it on there? There we go. Okay. Alright, so we got this rubber block off. Okay, now let's continue prying all of these out. Okay, those all came up, but yeah, the metal piece is all bent. I don't know how I'm gonna clear out all of this to get these so that I can push it back down, because I have a feeling since I'm leaving all that broken plastic there, it's gonna be difficult to. Alright, let's pop this one out. Alright. It's working. We're getting there. I mean, I don't think it needs all of these. I don't know why they put so many of these plastic things here, holding it in place. Sorry if I'm going out of view. Yeah, that one's really stuck. Okay. Yeah, this thing's gonna end up really bent up after this. Let's use the bigger tool because I can twist it a bit better. It might work better with a not so flexible tool. This tool's really flexible. You might want something that's more stiff so that when you twist it, it actually pries it better. Maybe like a flathead screwdriver, but I don't know if I have one that's that thin that I can get underneath all these parts here. Man, I don't know about this. Oh, there we go. Come on, pop it out. There we go. Come on, pop it up. Man, all these little broken plastic rings. Yeah, you'd want to buy the whole keyboard. You don't want to do this. This is a huge pain. Come on, pop this one up. I don't think this one will come up. This one looks like it was slid under here. Jeez. Man, I can't even pop these ones out. There we go. Okay. It is coming out. Sorry for the video being like this. Again, you can skip this, but this is just kind of showing how much of a pain it is, so if you want to stick around and see. Let's move this adhesive out of the way. Okay, let's get underneath here if we can. Go in sideways. Nope. I don't know about this one. That one I can't get underneath it. Maybe I need to use both tools. Let's try and pry with both. Come on. There we go. I don't know about this side. It doesn't want to come at all. Okay, I think it's ripping off. There we go. Okay, we are getting somewhere. And this is just this metal plate. After that, we also have to pry up the keyboard itself. So get underneath there. Twist this. Come on. It's coming up. Oh, there's more of these black adhesive things. I'm going to take that out. Move that out of the way. Alright, is that out? It felt like it came out, but nope. goes underneath these hinge things too. Jeez, this is a real huge pain. Alright, let's get this tool in there as well. Again, if somebody knows a better way to do this, let me know. Other than just buying the replacement piece. There we go. Because yeah, this is a huge pain, removing these plastic pieces. Okay. Good thing is we're not going to need to reuse the keyboard, so I don't have to worry too much if I damage the keyboard underneath. But yeah, this is a huge pain. Okay, we're getting there. We're about a third done. There we go. It's working. This is working. Yeah, I think if you have a solid plastic tool or solid metal tool that doesn't flex too much, it'd probably be a lot easier to do this. Alright, we are getting somewhere. There we go. Alright, let's go over this way. Oh, I cut myself. That's not good. Sorry, I'm probably going out of view, but what can I do? There we go. These are all coming up. Nice. Okay. Let's lift it up, go along. Pry this up. Come on. Come on. Okay. The ones that get stuck, I need to add the second pry tool to make it more stiff. And then that helps. Oh man, it's just folding in. It's not snapping off. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna get my blood everywhere. I'm gonna spread some. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Oops. Alright. So go around. Okay. Lift this up. Get underneath there. Come on. Oh no, it's not going over the top of that thing. So I'm going to have to go from this side. Sorry, a bunch of this is probably out of view, but you get the idea. Find a way to get underneath and then just pry it up. Can I pry this up and then get underneath there? Let's go over, come on, I need to go over the top of the other pry tool, just like that. There we go. There we go. Okay, prying that up. So this one takes a bit of work. Whew, I'm getting tired from this. This is tough. Okay, let's pry this side. No, it's not going to come out, is it? Ow. The problem is this metal plate holds all the screws in place. So you actually need this metal plate. You can't just completely destroy it. Okay, let's take that out. Let's see here, where are we getting stuck? Down here. There's one up there. Okay. Pop that out. Okay. Yeah, usually these I don't like to repair at all. I don't feel it's worth the time for the money. So let's go over here. Let's pry this up. Come on. Oh, God. Come out. There we go. This is all pried up. Okay, we can get the keyboard and the backlight cables out of the way. Am I getting blood on there? Okay, we got some more down there. I guess once you get this out, you technically could just tear the whole metal piece out. Just pull on it really hard and it will pull them up like that. But yeah, I'm trying to bend it as little as possible. I can actually put this rubber block back in place. Okay, what else? Now we got these 4 all the way down here. Those are probably going to be difficult. So you can see you have like different size tools that help a little bit, but still, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get all of those in there. Alright, let's pop out this last one down here. Sorry again for going off the camera, but you get the idea. Get something underneath and pry it up, just like that. Keep that foil, is that okay? Alright, I don't know how I'm gonna get those. Can I go from this side maybe? Okay, that works. Come on. There we go. Get underneath all this metal. There we go. And last one. Okay, we got this piece off. As you can see, it's all bent up. So we are going to have to flex it and bend it back the right way. Okay. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. So peel off that. If you see any of those plastic pieces that still remain, you want to rip the tops off so that way when you go to put this back down, it's not going to get caught on it. Some of it I don't know if you'll be able to remove. Might have to use my, what's that, bolt cutter kind of tool, or the nail, the thing that cuts the nails off, like metal nails, not fingernails. Okay, so just pull that up, get off all the excess plastic here. Alright, after I get all this plastic off, I'm going to flip it back over and dump all the broken bits off in the trash. Okay. Doesn't need to be perfect, but just get all of that out. Okay, alright, so we got all of that out. Now the keyboard still has some of those. Of course, we do have to bend this back. Okay, let's see. So this, I don't know, you're just gonna have to work to make this as flat as you can. And yeah, there's not really any tips, just make sure it lines up when you put it back. Okay, it's probably better to make it bow outwards than inwards the way we were pulling it, because when we pulled it, it bowed out the other way. So I'm just going to try and flex it to go back the opposite way. Alright, it's working, kind of. Doesn't need to be 100% perfect, but the closer you can get it, the better. Alright, I don't think you can really get it back perfect anyways, because some of the metal, like here, it stretches out. Okay. Alright, that's probably about as good as I can get it. We'll set that aside. Make sure you don't put it on the motherboard or anything. Okay, so now we got the keyboard itself. Let's peel off this foil tape. I don't know why they have this here. Okay, so the keyboard, I'm basically gonna just push it through from the other side, and hopefully that will break those plastic things off. I don't know. So just basically push it through like this. Okay, you can see it's popping out. Once you get most of it, if you want, you can just grab it and pull it through like this. Okay. There are these random pieces of tape here. I don't know why they... Okay, let's take the backlight layer off. Okay, I'm going to separate the keyboard backlight layer from the keyboard itself. Just like this. Oh, it's actually, those plastic things are holding that as well, it looks like. Okay, I'm going to remove this adhesive thing that's holding it in place. It leaves some residue on there, but whatever. Okay. Peel off this tape as well. Okay. Now let's pull the rest of the keyboard through. Okay. Ouch. What is holding on there? Oh, these middle ones. You want to be careful pulling this stuff through, because you can actually rip this plastic out if you're too rough with it. But yeah, just be careful with it, and you don't have to go too fast. Okay, there we go. These don't want to go through. Shoot. Oh no, it's actually pulling up the plastic on these. So sometimes these don't break. It's pulling up the plastic. This one is too strong. Might have to use like fingernail cutter or bolt cutter, or let's try fingernail cutter. Okay, cut that off. Go. These are probably all holding in too strong. I'm gonna use the fingernail cutter and try and cut them off. There we go. See, this piece started coming up, so I'm gonna have to like glue that back on. But there we go. We'll set this stuff aside. One of these hinges came apart. I don't know where the other piece of that hinge... Oh, there it is. Okay, so we'll set that keyboard aside. We don't need that. This plastic thing, I'm gonna try and bend it and glue it back in place. Oh, the plastic actually like morphed. It bent around. Okay, so I don't know if this will actually go in place properly, but we'll try. Oops, sorry, I'm going out of view. So let's bend this back. There. Okay. Alright, I'm going to use some super glue, and then I'm going to super glue these pieces in place. Hopefully they will hold up well. There go. It does line up, so I think it should be okay. Let's put some super glue there. All right. There we go. All right, so how are we going to hold this all in place at once? Let's see. Let's get this piece. That one. Line that up. Sorry, my head's getting in the way again. All right, push that down. Hold that all in place. Okay, about 15 seconds. Luckily, only one of it broke. It only broke in a small place here. Okay. There we go. Hopefully it will stay now. A little bit of it is popping up, so I will have to add more glue. Let's break off these extra pieces that didn't come off earlier. Man, this one's really stuck there. I'm gonna use the fingernail cutter and try and break it off and cut it off. Alright, still got another one here. Guess I'll just cut it. I'm gonna have all this broken plastic stuff all over my desk. Okay, let's try and clean some of this stuff off. Are going everywhere. Okay, so we got the whole keyboard out. I'm gonna inspect it, make sure we do have to glue this on a little bit better. Okay. Sorry, my head's probably gonna get in the way. Alright, stick this back down. Oh man, I put too much glue. Put that off. Alright. Okay, then basically we're gonna put all of this back in and then melt the plastic to hold it in place. So let's take all of this out. Still, this one is here in the way. Might have to make a part 2 of this because people are messaging and I need to respond to them. So let's see if I can get that off. Okay, it's holding on really strong now. Alright, make sure you dump out all the broken plastic. Oh, there's one more here. It's very important you check all of these because when you go to put it back, if you don't get all that extra plastic out of the way, you won't be able to sit it down. Okay, there's another one on this corner here. Okay, one more. Oh, there's 2 more here. Sorry if I'm not getting this in the camera. I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing, and it's hard to see if I'm actually getting on the camera. Oops. Okay, last one. Hope that's the last one. Okay, so we got all the things sticking up. There is a little sign of some sticky liquid spill here, so I will clean that as well. Just use a little rubbing alcohol from my spray bottle. And then we'll clean that up. Okay, so that's good. All right, I'll be back. Give me a few minutes. I'll probably do a part 2. So hopefully this part of the video at least helped you. If it did, like and subscribe because that'll help others find this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, part 2, I will show putting the keyboard back in and then melting the plastic to hold it in place. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.